this luxurious lifestyle
that I provided.
That you provided. Don't worry, I was getting there.
Sorry,
you're impatient.
Impatient. はい、皆さん、純国さん同時通訳者。あ、そうなんだ。I really moved to the States. I can't really say 純国さん同時通訳者。同時通訳者の小熊弥生と。
デビットです。
はい。今日はですね、日本の〇〇が恋しいアメリカ移住にしてからですね、分かった日本の素晴らしさを皆さんにお届けしていきたいと思います。Okay, so what do you miss about Japan?
Obviously, I miss the saunas. Okay.
そうなのよ。Sauna is ね、one thing that we don't really have. I mean, there's saunas, but what they say a sauna is not sweaty, like sweltering a sauna. It's just warm room. 最暖室みたいな感じになってしまって、全然汗がかけないっていう、まあ現状でして、なのでね、サウナ
汗かけない意味がないと思います。
汗がかけないのは意味がないね。そうですね。Especially for you.
I know, right? Exactly. Because I get so kind of bloated and with all this good salty food here. And that's also what I miss about Japan is that I don't get as bloated with food there. So
Really? I think you got really bloated there too.
I did, but it's a lot easier to get bloated here.
Oh, I see. I know what you're saying.
Right.
Okay, without sauna.
Without sauna, right? So. Anyways, sauna is the big thing
for you,
for
especially.
me, right? Because that was a daily thing that I did every morning almost in Japan, right?
Lucky you.
This luxurious lifestyle that
that I provided.
That you provided. Don't worry, I was getting there.
Sorry,
you're impatient.
Impatient.
That's the big thing, I guess. Also, just I like living in the city. I like the feeling of being in the city. Okay, that gives me a little bit more of a heartbeat, I think. Okay.
I don't miss any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss sauna, but I go to hot yoga, so that is like,
Right.
I missed the hot yoga when I was back in Japan. So that meant that I'm not missing any Japanese saunas, right?
Exactly.
But I miss the time that we spent together. There is no co-ed sauna that we can sweat together.
Exactly. And then also I think that, I've kind of developed a lot of my grown-up friends there. Probably it's more time reconnecting with friends here as opposed to just a little bit more easy in Japan because I've been there for so long and I have a more current network there.
Oh, I see.
Right?
I don't have that problem either.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
We have completely different problems.
Yeah, because, you're more physical, like friendship, you're in. I'm more into like virtual, clientship that I am in or teamship that I'm in. So therefore, I don't have any of the issues that you just mentioned.
Right. And I miss our place, the view of our place.
I don't miss that either.
I do.
I know. Right. Oh, thank you. I never heard you say that.
So those things. No, but I mean, it was a great place, right? So I'm appreciative of the experience. Right?
I love the stability here, like so closer. Oh, I need to talk about what I miss about Japan, right?
I know, right? So the other thing is that I miss jogging in Japan because we were in the middle of the city, so I was always jogging around global monuments, like Tokyo Tower,
Wow, you
Rainbow
really
Bridge,
miss Japan, don't you?
Right.
You cannot stop yourself.
Right? Or Meiji Jingu, right? So I would jog to all those places every morning, and it's more refreshing feeling, jogging to national monuments, right? That are world renowned, right? To me, it's like jogging to the Eiffel Tower or jogging in Central Park or something like that.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're trying to do. But like that's the difference. I think, I was born and raised in Tokyo, right? So I grew up in there. Then like at the age of like 33, finally I'm out of that city. I'm like, I can breathe, right? So I think I'm still on that, like, on that trip feeling, like, vacation feeling here. Right. So no, I don't miss,
So this is going to be very short for you. Right, because you're not going to have any
things. Yeah, so I'm like right now, I'm racking my brain.
Right.
Like, what do I miss about Japan?
You don't miss anything because we're in completely different situations, right? I felt like I was in vacation in Japan, and I also had a good network there and had a good regular schedule, I thought. Good rhythm.
Spoiling you.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing I liked about it was that it was easier to exercise, especially jog, because it was a little bit more entertaining. It felt like I was going faster because I was always running by buildings that were so close together, right? Whereas here it feels like I'm jogging 10 times longer to go 1/10 the distance, right? Because just to jog down the street, I only pass like, a couple blocks, right? And that's like almost a kilometer.
Okay, so I guess, so I don't miss pretty much anything about Japan or Tokyo lifestyle, except for the courtesy that I receive automatically from shop clerks and restaurant, servers. That was very easy for me. And the cleanliness of that town. But now I'm used to it here. So, but what's great is that the level of the services, right? Anywhere, even in a McDonald's or supermarket,
It's very high.
Yeah, like everything is so high, and since we didn't have to tip anything in Japan. Everything seemed
reasonable.
Yeah, a lot more reasonable and transparent too, right? I feel like there are more invisible costs that we have to cover.
Right.
So therefore, I always have to do the math in my brain.
Right.
So whereas in Japan, it was like almost like, automated.
Right.
Okay, what you see is what you have to pay, and what's advertised is what, we can receive, right? In that sense, that's what was great about Japan. And now one thing I am cautious now is starting business here. I think doing business in Japan is like doing business in a very secure environment. Whereas here, it's like, okay, law firm advertisements everywhere. Okay, is that something I have to be prepared for? Like, do I really have to be that cautious to start like serving the local people? So, the fact that we didn't have to think about that at all, right, was a great benefit of Tokyo or Japan. And a lot of people tell me that their favorite cities to visit or country to visit is Japan.
Yeah, right? So it's very popular now too. So.
It is hugely popular.
It's the thing to do. So that's what people are saying. All my friends who I grew up with are saying that, over the past 4 or 5 years, ever since Corona ended, Japan has been the place to travel to, right?
Cheaper,
right?
And safe.
Safe, clean.
And delicious. So that's something you guys may not really realize unless you go travel across the world. The food you get, even at the $3 standing soba noodle place, it's far better than any like really good restaurant
here.
So I feel like it's a rip-off here, whereas in Japan, wow, everything is a good deal,
right,
and healthy too. So
and the right portion.
Yeah, right portion.
Right. We take a lot of food home now after after meals.
Yeah. And that lasts forever. So that's good.
Right.
But at the same time, I felt like, I had more variety back in Tokyo.
Right.
As to, okay, soba is one, and the curry and rice is one, and norimaki is one, onigiri is one.
Right.
Like there were a lot of options for the limited time, any occasions that you might have for
and the
eating.
convenience of Tokyo. Yeah. Right? So everything's close by if you live in the city, right? You don't have to get in a car. Right?
And taxi is so easy to catch, but here we have to Uber it around.
Or drive.
But they're really good. But you always have to pay
Close attention.
close attention and tipping. Anything else that you think is great about Japan that the viewers will think, that we should probably be more grateful.
I said saunas, sentos. Sentos are also a very good, cheap relaxation point. Also, I think it's the deep baths.
I see.
The bath culture, right? Whereas this is a shower culture, right?
So that also explains the superficial cleanliness of people, right?
Exactly. So those are the kind of the things that I miss and notice are the biggest differences for my perspective as an American living in Japan, right? Feeling somewhat on a working vacation for 25 years, right?
Anything you want me to ask?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
What do you mean ask? Ask me?
Yeah, ask anything you want me to ask you questions, or you wanna ask any questions about how I think about certain things. What's great about Japan?
What's great about Japan?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think is great about Japan?
So, I think what's great about Japan is that the competence of the normal people, ordinary people. So that makes, secretaries, I think Japanese secretaries are number one in the whole world. They think ahead and they take care of issues a few steps ahead of the boss. Right. And some are maybe, more competent than the bosses. They're willing to work for less. So that I think is great. And so if you want to start a business, I think, starting business in Japan is you will be surprised how much amazing support you will get from Japanese women. That's one thing I want to add. I wanted to add.
Okay. And then also I think that one of the things that I enjoyed also or what I appreciated about Japan was that they don't allow politics to influence their everyday life. Too many people here let the politics, especially now, impact their anxiety on a daily basis, and it impacts their communication on a daily basis here. Whereas in Japan, I think they don't let it get in the way of what they need to do for that day or for their job, right? So I kind of appreciate that focus and that attitude of control what you can, right, for that day, control what you have been controlling, whereas opposed to talking about what you can't control and why you don't like it and why right?
Interesting.
So that's one of the biggest things is that Japan is a little bit more quiet and a little less impacted or much less impacted by what's happening in the political scene on a daily basis.
Yeah. Why do you think it's that?
I think it's partly to do with the homogeneity of the society. Okay, so everybody is one race. Okay, so it doesn't bring up too many differences of thought, which can also be a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like,
right.
I have mixed feelings about that.
Right. But I think that, in sense, it is kind of unifying Japan, okay? And I really think that the States is very diversified. Diversified, but also very split.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I don't really appreciate discussions on things that you can't control. Right?
Yeah. So, but that can be also described about an issue in Japan, the apathy toward the politics. So low voting rates and so forth.
Right.
So, but at the same time, it's great that the politics don't really influence your daily lives.
Yep.
Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed our rather serious discussions I ended up having.
I know, right?
少しでも楽しんでいただけてたら嬉しいです。ということで、日本の〇〇が恋しいシリーズでございました。最近ちょっと Vlog が多かったので、今日は2人でお話をしてみました。それではまたね。
またね。
バイ。
バイバイ。
いいねとチャンネル登録お願いします。